Number 2, how to build an emotional relationship. I want for you to be aware of the micro moments. There are times all throughout the day where you can either put deposits in or make withdrawals. Tiny little moments. We know this because my mentor, my teacher, Dr. Gottman, he studied couples in a way that many researchers had never studied couples before. He developed what's called the Love Lab on the University of Washington's campus. He created a laboratory setting that was very similar to a bed and breakfast, minus the fact that there were researchers watching them, coding their facial expressions. There were video cameras coding them, making sure that they're taking down every conversation that they had. And for 24 hours, a couple would come, and these are newlywed couples, so they're relatively still happy, right? So they would come to this laboratory setting, and they would cook, and they would clean, and they would read the newspaper. Do you remember what that's like? Read the newspaper, they would watch movies, and then after 24 hours, after the researchers had gathered all of their data, they would send these couples home. And then Dr. Gottman thought, you know what, let's check back in with these couples. And 6 years later, like any normal curve, some of these newlywed couples, now no longer newlyweds, had divorced, and some of them had stayed together. Are you ready for the most amazing information you're going to hear in the next 15 minutes? Ready. The couples that stayed together, when he went back and he looked at that videotape, he coded all of the positive things that happened in that relationship over the 24-hour period. And he noticed that the couples that had stayed together 6 years later, they had made deposits 86% of the time while they were there, on average. The couples that divorced, they had only made deposits 33% of the time. Right? Is anybody, I dork out on this stuff because I'm psychology brain, but does that shock anybody? What I'm trying to tell you is the importance of these micro moments. Don't let them go by without consciously making an effort. That all of these small, tiny little moments, you have an opportunity to make a deposit, or you have an opportunity to make a withdrawal. It's just whether or not you want to be happy. It's really up to you. Goal number 3, increase the frequency of your deposits. Something that a lot of people don't know is that it's not the size of the deposit that matters. Men, it's not the size of the deposit that matters. It's the frequency, okay? And the consistency. So I have couples all the time that are experiencing pain in their relationship. They're overdrawn, if you will. And what do? I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go on a very expensive vacation with my wife or my husband. And so they put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into getting childcare for the kids, time off from work. They deplete their own bank account. They go below 201. And they go on a week-long vacation, and they reconnect. They have a great time. They talk, lots of sex. It's great. And then what happens when they come back? Can you guess? Nothing changes. In fact, they come back to my office, and now they're feeling pretty low and pretty hopeless because after a week of all of that, the love faded faster than their tan. I love a good tan, though, so I wouldn't mind the tan part. So what is it really about? It's about making small moments more often, putting deposits in the bank account. They would have been better off had they taken the amount of money that they went on vacation and spread it out through the entire year on date nights. It's the frequency. Here's a rule that I like to follow, the 2 by 2 by 2 rule. Every 2 weeks, you go on a date night. If you're already going on a date night every week, don't stop the music. Keep going, okay? Every 2 months, you leave for one night. Go to a hotel, find a trustworthy person to take care of the kids, and go to a hotel for one night. And every 2 years, you go on a vacation with your partner for 1 week. If you're thinking, but didn't she just tell us not to go on vacation? That's not what I said. What's at the very top of this? Date night. It's the frequency. Make it consistent.